Hey guys, welcome to another Wednesday with Walter. Today I want to talk about selling a home. You know, many of you out there, with everything that's been going on in 2020, um, the whole pandemic, all of it. You know what I mean? I know many of you wanted to sell your home last year, and with the pandemic and all the things going on, it kind of put it on hold. You know what I mean? Some people didn't really feel safe, letting people in and out of their house and things of that nature. And all of that's very understandable, okay? But I want to give you some basics to getting your home ready. And of course, I want to give you some ideas of what's coming next here in 2021 in regards to selling your home. Because there's so many things that's going on that's going to be beneficial to you as a homeowner that's looking to sell and to the market in general. Now, for those of you guys that don't know my background, my name's Walter Davis. I'm with the Walter Davis Real Estate Group and here with Keller Williams Professionals here in Spring, Texas. And I've been doing real estate or selling real estate since 2005. You know, I've worked with new home builders. I've worked with investors. I've worked with flippers, investors that flip homes. I've worked with traditional sellers and traditional buyers. So I've worked the whole gambit of real estate, which is where much of my insight comes from. But when we talk about selling a home, I think there's some vital things that you as a homeowner need to know first and foremost. And there's only 3 reasons why a home doesn't sell, okay? Or does sell. We can put it in either way of that. I always like to add a 4th one, but there's only 3 that's out there. First one I want to talk about is location. When you go to sell your home, you can't pick the location. It is where it is. But the key is to understand where your home is. Is there a water tower behind you? Is there commercial in the yard, behind your yard? Is it near a sewer drain? Is it near a water retention pond? Is it near maybe a bad neighbor that never cuts their lawn and the grass is 12 feet high? Okay? Or a purple house. It just depends. Location plays such a huge role in the buyer's eyes when they come to look at a home. Many of you have heard the term curb appeal and things of that nature. And there's things you can do that can assist for those times where your location maybe isn't in the best light for every home buyer. There's somebody that will buy it, but for every home buyer it might not fit for. And the biggest thing I always say first is lawn, flowers, colors, okay? Lawn needs to be cut and watered. You don't want a bunch of brown spots. Even during, and I get it, we're in Houston, so it's hot all the time, and, it stops, grass goes dormant in November, and so on and so forth. But we want to try and keep that grass as green as we can keep it, especially if you're considering selling. So if you're in the mode that you say, next month I'm selling, 6 months from now I'm selling, you want to start preparing those grass and that shrubbery to looking its best. The other thing is making sure that you have the beautiful, plants. It doesn't have to be a lot of stuff. It just has to fit your house, okay? Bring in new mulch. That's always a plus. Plant a few flowers that will decorate it. Add a little color if there's no color, okay? Put in some bushes. These are all things that are enhancements that I think are always a plus. Pressure wash the driveway. If you haven't painted the outside in a long period of time, and it's been 15, 20 years and the paint has been weathered, if it doesn't cost too much, have someone come out and paint for you. All these things are perks that I think the average new home buyer, especially the first time home buyer, will love. And that's going to help keep the pricing where it needs to be. So that's, even though we were talking about location, you can't really control the sides behind you, the neighbors, and where you are. You can do some things to camouflage it. So for example, in your backyard, if you got a commercial behind you, maybe you set up a row of ferns or trees that grow beyond the fence line in regards to height, that gives a little illusion that you're kind of a little more private. Raise your fence in the back, if as long as your HOA allows you to do it, to give a little bit more illusion that you're kind of in your own world. You know, if you have the neighbor that doesn't cut the lawn and you're on good terms with them, maybe go talk to him and say, hey man, I'm getting ready to sell my house and I want to make sure I get a good neighbor for you. You know, can you do me a favor? Do you mind if I have my lawn guy cut your lawn too? From now and then, every now and then. You know, and you know, when you especially when you're about to get those pictures out there, all that will make a difference. Okay. The second thing that's the most important is not only location, which is what we were just talking about. Now we also want to think about price, location and price. Okay. So when you start to look at the price of how much you want to sell your house for, I'm a firm believer that it's all about the data. What does the data say? What are the comparables in your area of homes that are similar to yours? What did they sell for? The hardest thing we have when I work with my clients that are sellers on that first meeting is when they bought the house for $125,000 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Okay, and they believe today it's worth $400,000, and I'm not saying that that's wrong. I believe when you put in the work and you know the value, you have a value that you assess to that property. But remember this, and this is a coin phrase I want every seller out there to remember, is that buyers determine how much your home is worth. And what I mean by that is, it really doesn't matter what you think your home is worth to a certain degree, because it's only about what's the buyer that's willing to pay to buy your home. What is a buyer willing to pay to purchase your home? And by doing some of these other things that I'm telling you about, that I'm about to tell you about, it's going to raise that number, okay? Because I want you to put yourself in the eyes of the buyer. The buyer's saying, I want the lowest price. I want to buy that house for $200,000, which isn't necessarily right either. Okay, again, we're going to base everything off of data. And if the house next to you sold for $350 and it's the same size, same amount of rooms, same amount of updates, that's a good comp to look at. That's a good comparable house to look at for data. If the house across the street sold for $325, that's another good comparable house to look at. If the house 2 blocks over sold for $405, that might be a good comp, but we need to figure out why it sold for $405 versus these selling for $320, $325, okay? And why there's such a big gap between the two. That's some of the work that we do. But in a general sense, neighborhoods are always going to sell really close to each other in regards to comparability. Now, you might find that you got better amenities inside your home, which leads me to the third piece, which is condition, okay? The condition of your home is so important. And there's 2 ways to look at this. Condition in regards to physical problems or issues or wear and tear that might come up. For example, cracks in the seams from settling. Did we fix that or did we just leave it? Okay. Cracks in the tile, or maybe roofs that are structurally, done. They're done in the next year and they need to be replaced. They haven't been replaced in 35 years. And with Houston being what it is in regards to the heat, the rain, the wind, all that stuff baking on that roof, it's probably going to need to be replaced. These are things that not only do the buyer consider when they're buying or looking at your home or comparing your home to other homes that they've looked at, but it's definitely going to become a factor when the inspector comes through that the buyer brings through to inspect your home. They're going to point out all of those things. So any of those things that we can resolve before we even get it to the market will be great and phenomenal, and it will help to increase your price. Because I want you to think about this for 1 second. If let's put it in your eyes. If you walk into a house and you find out that the roof hasn't been replaced in 25 years, there's cracks in the seams from settling, the dishwasher doesn't work, and the yard is unkept, and they have that home priced at $325, what would you put an offer in for, knowing all those things are in play? That's the reason why I'm telling you that, put you in that perspective, is put yourself, when I go in with my clients and we talk about their home, I come in with a fresh set of buyer's eyes. I want to come in and look at it the way the buyer's going to look at it, because that's going to tell us either what we need to do or where we're at in pricing today if we don't want to do anything. So those are some big keys in regards to condition. And those are the 3 huge factors that are common among homes that are going on the market. Remember what I said. We can start it all off: location, price, and condition. Now there's a 4th one that I like to explain to my clients. And the 4th one is marketability. How is your home marketed? You know, when we look at major name brands like Nike, McDonald's, you know what I mean? All those things that we look at, that we love out there in the industry as we go to buy, or Adidas, any of the stuff that we buy. I like to approach my clients' homes the same way. Is we want to create your home in its own brand. We want to make your home something that can be sold on every platform. So how do we market a home that's a brand? How does Nike market Nike? Reason why I like to reflect in it this way is because Nike, everybody might not like Nike shoes, for example, but everybody knows what the swoosh is, and everybody knows what Nike shoes are, and everybody can relate, and they see them all over the place. So what that Nike has done is they've created an awareness that increases the odds of the amount of people that are willing to buy those shoes. So it's the same thing that we're thinking in regards to a home. What's going to create a market that allows us to get the most amount of qualified buyers in your home that want to come see your home, that are excited to see your home, and when they get there, they're excited to make an offer in there from a marketing standpoint. Now, a lot of old-time agents, you know, in the old days, they put a sign in the ground and they just kind of wait, okay? And some agents, and you know, and I'm not trying to talk about my real estate aid professionals out there, but some agents still do that, okay? What I believe is you have to have a comprehensive marketing plan that hits all the categories. So yes, you do have to have a sign in the ground so when people drive by. But in some of my other videos, we talked about technology. And the most important aspect in today's buyer is they're not driving in the neighborhoods looking for signs necessarily to see what houses are for sale. They're looking on social media. They're looking at it through the internet. They're looking on real estate technological websites. They're looking in blogs and vlogs and video and all these different aspects of promoting that property. That's where they're finding it. They're finding it through referrals of other people. So we have to have an approach when we think about marketability that once we've created your home brand, okay, that your home's the best looking home on it, it's in the best condition, it's in a great location, and everybody that walks into it wants to put an offer on it. Now once we've created that brand, now it has to be promoted at a level through all the different branches of technology and traditional marketing tactics. And that's what we do. We not only drive your home through your favorite platforms that many of you have heard of. I don't know if you've heard of Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, Twitter. I mean, I even get home buyers through LinkedIn, and all the other different platforms. But we also bring in professional photographers and videographers to come in and make your home exciting. Because if your home is not exciting, people won't be drawn to it. So I say all this to say this. If you're a home seller or potential home seller and you've been thinking about selling your home, there are so many opportunities for you right now. Right now we're in a strong seller's market. That means that there's more buyers than there is inventory. So as your homes come on the market, if it's priced right, if it looks good, and if it's marketed properly, it will sell. And if it's not, if any one of those pieces are not, it probably won't sell. And that's what you don't want to happen. So if you have any questions about maybe selling your home or some tips, feel free to reach out to me and my team. You can always reach us at 832-257-9083. And coming soon, I have a new website that's going to be coming soon for all my buyers and sellers, because I believe that it's important that every single person receives luxury treatment. So we're going to have our website coming up here shortly. It's going to be called My Luxury Agent. And you'll be able to work with your own luxury agent. Okay? So remember that saying. Stay tuned because I'll be sending that out soon, but it's going to be www.myluxuryagent.com, and where you're going to get luxury treatment from start to finish, no matter what size home you're buying, no matter what price range it's in, no matter where it's at, you're going to get the treatment that you should get when you're looking to buy a home or sell a home. I hope if you guys like this and then this gave you some great information, go ahead and like it. And I'd love for you to subscribe to keep up. We're going to always give out some different tips and things. We talk a lot about buyers and sellers in the market and kind of what's going on. But I always try to give you guys some insight because I want you guys to have resources to make good decisions on your real estate needs. So as always, stay blessed, stay safe, and if you have any questions, we're here to help you out and bring you home. As always, have a great day, a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Wednesday with Walter. Have a nice one. Bye-bye now.